Hello students, this is Mr. David once again reading you the news during the coronavirus school closure, and again we give our thanks to RTHK HK, and today's article is, here is the headline: HK, Hong Kong to turn away many non-residents for 14 days. So 14 days for non-residents, that means if you do not have a Hong Kong ID card, then you cannot come to Hong Kong for 14 days. Non-resident, reside, the word reside here is a verb, means to live, okay? So if you do not live in Hong Kong, then for 14 days, bye-bye, zaijian, sayonara. This is dated the 23rd of March 2020, and here is a photo of Chek Lap Kok International Airport. Caption: Hong Kong to turn away many non-residents for 14 days. Let's read the text. Hong Kong is to close its borders. Okay, the borders are the things that go around Hong Kong. Okay, so the thing here is the border. You cannot cross the border, right? To many non-residents, people who do not live in Hong Kong, of the city for 14 days from Wednesday. Okay, and today is Tuesday, I believe. See, the thing is, all this coronavirus, you forget what day it is now. Amid, it means in the middle, in the middle of a recent increase. A surge is an increase in the number of coronavirus patients, many of whom are believed to have brought the infection in with them from overseas. So what we've seen is that before, the number of people with coronavirus in Hong Kong was not that many, but now, because people have been coming from other countries, Hong Kong is going through what we say is a second wave, okay? Another increase of people. Before was the first wave, people from China. Now the second wave is people coming from Europe and America, okay, overseas. Non-residents, people who do not live in Hong Kong, for example, business people, people on holiday, arriving from the mainland, Macau or Taiwan, will still be allowed in, okay? So if you are coming from China, Macau or Taiwan, you will be allowed in as long as they have not been anywhere else in the world in the past 14 days. And this applies to citizens, okay, as well as foreigners. So citizens is people from a country. We are all Hong Kong citizens, right? But those coming from Macau and Taiwan will also have to go into quarantine for 14 days. Okay, a rule that has already been imposed or forced on, this word impose is forced on, arrivals from everywhere else, including the mainland. In addition, also, I like this word here because we all say also, but this is in addition. Macau residents who have been in other countries over the past 14 days will still be allowed to fly into Hong Kong Airport, but will be taken straight to their home city by coach. Okay, so I think this means that if you are from Macau but you fly to Hong Kong, you have to go directly to Macau by a special coach. A 2-week ban, a ban means to stop, a 2-week ban on transit passengers at the airport will come into force. That means it will start on Wednesday. Transit is people who are not actually coming into Hong Kong, but they're going, say, from London to Australia, but they stop in Hong Kong there, okay? So they're going from London to Australia and they transit, they change airplane in Hong Kong. Okay, that is also stopped. The announcements were made by Chief Executive Carrie Lam on Monday afternoon during a press conference at the government's headquarters. Calls have been growing for an entry ban, okay, stopping people coming in, entry ban on non-residents, with medical experts and lawmakers, people who make the law are lawmakers, from both pro-establishment, that means you support China and support Beijing, that's pro-establishment, and pro-democracy, they fight for freedom, those guys, right? Camps saying that the move would reduce pressure, would make it smaller or less. Reduce is make less pressure on hospitals. However, most of those found to be infected, that means they have coronavirus, found to be infected after recent travel abroad have been local people rather than non-residents. So that means that the people who have coronavirus, they're not the visitors, they're actually people who live in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong citizens. Since Friday, anyone showing symptoms, this word symptoms means like coughing, sneezing, high temperature, these are the symptoms, the signals of COVID-19 coronavirus after flying into Chetlakot has been taken to one of 2 nearby testing centres for checks. Okay, so these testing centres, they will be checked to see if they really have coronavirus or not. And those who test positive for the virus are taken to hospital, while others are being allowed to go home to quarantine themselves. Again, this word we've seen so much. Quarantine means to stay at home and self-isolate. Okay, and also we have a little bit of time, so let's just quickly have a look at this one. This is a hotline, a telephone line, a hotline to report quarantine cheats. This means the people who are cheating the stay-at-home order. They're supposed to stay at home for 14 days. Okay, there is people who they have that wristband that says that you cannot go out of the house, and they are still going outside. This one I saw earlier today. A video circulating online, that means going around online, shows one alleged, this means alleged means not proved, maybe yes, maybe no, okay, they need to check in court. One alleged offender, someone who breaks the law, a 13-year-old girl wearing a quarantine wristband. Okay, this is what they call them, a quarantine wristband, as she eats in a restaurant. Police said they received a report about the girl at 10 p.m. on Monday, which was last night, I think. The restaurant was in the Shartin Hotel, where the teenager was staying, but she should have been confined to her room. And following the alleged breach, this means to break the quarantine rule, breach, the girl was then taken to a quarantine centre in Pho Tan. Chief Executive Carrie Lam said on Tuesday, yesterday, wait a minute, what day is it today? I don't even know what day it is. Chief Executive Carrie Lam said on Tuesday that it's disappointing and distressing to see so many people are ignoring the quarantine orders. Okay, don't ignore the rules, you need to follow the rules. Okay, disappointing and distressing means to make you upset. Okay, Carrie Lam also said such people are being irresponsible. This is the opposite of responsible, irresponsible, adding that the government will step up checks and prosecutions. That means prosecute means to either you need to pay money as a penalty or go to jail as a penalty. Lam added that a hotline for reporting offenders will go into operation soon. Okay, one caller to an RTHK program suggested that the government should just advise people to contact the police directly if they see anyone failing who are not isolating themselves. Because basically what happened is someone said this person called surname So, said he saw 2 people wearing quarantine wristbands at a restaurant in Junkono and he called 999. But the police, he was told by the police to instead phone the Centre for Health Protection or Home Affairs Department. So basically, even though these 2 people are wearing the quarantine wristbands at a restaurant and they called 999, the police do not want to help. I don't know why. What do you think? Do you think they're right or wrong? Add your comments if you want. Otherwise, as always, stay healthy, wash your hands, be happy, peace out.